registers. In this video, we will be walking through the registration process and showing you how to fill out the registration form for your org. First, you will go to OrgSync website and you will log in with your EUID and password. Once you have logged in, you will be at the home page of OrgSync. On the top right corner, click on the switchboard icon and press Manage. And this will take you to the Action Center. Scroll down until you see My Memberships, then select the org you are wanting to re-register. This will take you to the home page of your org's portal. Here you will see this blue button that reads Re-register this organization. Click this button and it will lead you to the registration portal form. Now you are here at the registration portal. There are 6 steps. The first step, as you see, is the instructions on how to complete registration. Be sure to read through the instructions so that you are aware of all you need to do in order to be approved. Press Continue to go to the next step. Step 2 is where you will provide general information about your org. If you've registered before, this information may not need to be changed very much, but feel free to make updates to your org's description, which is right here, if needed. If your org has social media, you can add the handles right here so that any prospective members can find you on social media. And then if your contact information has changed at all, you will need to update the email. If you have an org address you would like to add, you can do that here as well. And if you have a phone number for your org, you can add that as well. Then additional information. Here you can see that our affiliation is with Student Activities. If you have a national organization or an outside org that you are affiliated with, please list it here so that we are aware of it. Then we ask for your total number of active members in your org. Please do your best to make this number as accurate as possible. Also remember, you must have at least 8 members to be a registered org. Then if you have any requirements for membership, you can list those here. This will be things such as certain GPA or membership dues, or really anything that someone has to have in order to be a member. Then if you have set meeting times already for next semester, you can list them here. If you don't know your meeting time yet, that's okay as well. Lastly, we ask if your meetings are open to non-members, and you can simply just answer yes or no. Then you'll go on to the next step. Step 3 of registration is a simple one. This is where you will add your org profile picture. This picture will appear on your OrgSync page for those looking up your org to see. You will press the Choose File button and then upload a picture of maybe your group or of your org logo if you have one. If you don't wish to set a profile picture, this step is optional, so just move on to the next step. Step 4 is an important step because this is where we often see a lot of mistakes in registration submissions. In this step, you will be updating your roster. To complete this step, you will need a list of your org members' names and emails. Now it gets a little tricky here because the email that is attached to the OrgSync account is not always the email they use on a daily basis. But you will enter their at myunt.edu email or their EUID at UNT email. You can try both and it will let you know which one is right. So first you will choose the position that they hold. If they're not an officer and just a member, you can just press member. Then you will put the email in and then their first name and a last name. You are also able to add members in bulk, and you can just put in all of their email addresses if you would like to do that if you're adding a lot of members. And then you will just press add. If you scroll down, this is your org roster of members who are already on the roster or that you just added. Here, if their name is colored in blue, as you see right here, that means that their email is connected and you used the correct one. If their name is black, like this, that means you used the wrong email and you will need to try the other one. So as you can see here, this is the at my.unt.edu email, but this one is an euid@unt.edu email. So it's kind of hard to decipher which one is which, but it does tell you whether or not it connects. If neither email works, then that means that they have not activated their OrgSync account and they will need to log into OrgSync in order to activate it. If they are not an officer, they can just request to join the roster after registration is approved. But if they are an officer, especially the president, treasurer, or even the advisor, they will need to activate their account before registration can be approved. Your previous members will already be on the roster from the last registration, so you will only need to be adding new members and updating the officer positions. If an officer was already on the roster but needs to change positions, you can do that by clicking Edit Position and then choosing the position that they hold. So if someone is changing from just member to president, you can click that. Or let's say they're changing from president to just a member. You can do that as well. Updating the positions and adding any missing officers is the most important part of this step, especially for your advisor, president, and treasurer. If any of those three are missing, we will have to deny the registration for you to edit and add those. Step 5 is the longest step and has 4 individual parts. First, you will provide your advisor information. Please include their first and last name, the department in which they work, their phone number, and their UNT email address. Please note that the advisor you list here must match the advisor added to the roster in Step 4. If they do not match, the registration will be denied. If you have a secondary advisor, you can also add their information here. However, it's only required that you have one advisor. Moving on, the next section of Step 5 will be officer information. The first question on this page is asking how many officers your org currently has. Please list the correct amount. The number that you list here will need to match the number of officers you provide information for below. Next, you will list your president's information. This will include name, EUID, preferred email address, and phone number. Officer 2 can be your treasurer, your vice president, or really any other officer that you would like to put here. You will provide their name, EUID, the position title they hold, their preferred email address, and their phone number. For all other officers, you will provide their name, EUID, the position title, and their preferred email address. You can list up to 18 officers, so please list all officers your org currently has. Lastly, on this page, as we scroll down, you will agree that all of your officers have been listed and that all of the information for your officers have been included. The third portion of Step 5 is a new addition to registration. We have created categories to group all of our orgs that focus on similar things together. So we ask that you choose at least one category to put your org under. That will be your primary category. There are many to choose from, but the first one should reflect your org's biggest focus. Then you can add other categories that you may see fit for your org in the second and third category. Next, you will let us know what type of bank account your org has. If your org does not have an account, just click this option right here to let us know. Lastly, let us know when your officers transition to a new board so that we are aware when your leadership changes. And then moving on to the last section of Step 5, this is where you will agree to the terms and conditions agreement. So you want to be sure to read through all of this so you know what you're agreeing to, and then you will just check these boxes and you'll be good to go to move on to the last step. The The last step of registration is to provide your org's constitution. Remember that your constitution must include certain clauses verbatim. You can find these clauses on our Student Org website. Click Choose File and upload your org constitution. Once you have done this, you can press Next. If you need to review any of the steps or make any changes, you can go straight to the page from there, so you don't have to click through all of the steps. Once you have reviewed and are ready to submit, please press Submit, and then our office will review and provide feedback within 5 to 7 business days. If your registration is denied, you will be able to make edits and resubmit. If it is approved, you will receive an approval message and you will be able to continue on with event submissions and things of that sort.